Hey guys, those that are new here, my name is Tammy, and please do me a favor and like and subscribe, and please comment to anything in this video down below. If you've been here before, welcome back. And I just wanted to give you guys all a heads up. I am a new person to be reacting to these videos. And the reason is I binge watched from when Amber started YouTube to present day. So this is her latest video, the truth about how I lost 89 pounds. And let's get going with our girl.
Hey guys, so this is going to be a very hard video for me to film, but I wanted to just do this intro and let you guys know that this video is about how I lost the famous 89 lbs that I always talk about. There are a lot of things that I should have shared with you guys sooner, and I didn't. A lot of things that I hid. This video is also about how I was this small. This is how I looked when I was around 360, which still wasn't my lowest, but I looked good. I kind of see an hourglass figure. I don't know. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm just tooting my own horn. But
I'm sorry, I had to pause it right there. When she did start, she was a lot thinner, and she would have had a very short distance to go to get down to an ideal weight. And she's, everything put aside, like all her little idiosyncrasies that everybody keeps pointing out, and I myself point out. I mean, she is a very good looking girl. And it's just sad to me that she just keeps loading in these calories. I mean, just to maintain her weight, it's like 4,000, anywhere from 4,100 to 4,600 calories a day to maintain her weight. And that's like eating for 2 or 3 people. It's just crazy to me how somebody so beautiful like this could just destroy their body in a few years.
this video isn't just about how I lost those 89 pounds, but it's also how I look like this now. How after I lost the 89 pounds, I also gained about 250 since then. Yeah. And how weight loss can really mess with someone. And I just really want to be open in this video, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. But I felt like it was important to kind of give you a visual.
Yeah, as long as you're not lying.
So this is how I look at 420. This is after gaining weight, but I just wanted to show you guys that was me at 420 and at 331. So that's an 89 pound difference, and it's a huge difference, and it hurts so bad to see these photos because I actually look like a person when I was smaller.
You can be there again, Amber.
It was kind of cute. Yes, I was still bigger, but
you're young.
Didn't look like a scary monster like I do now. And that's just honesty.
I just don't want to see this
started gaining
girl to
weight.
have a heart attack.
As you can tell, I am a lot bigger here, and I kind of just kept getting bigger and bigger. Seeing the visuals like this is just like, whoa. And these photos still aren't even my heaviest. Here is actually a photo of me at 420 and then at 331. Here's another one, 420 and at 331. So those were my before and after. Hey guys, so I have been wanting to make this video for quite some time now, and I now just kind of worked up the courage to do so. A lot of people have asked me, how did you lose the weight before? What was different then versus what is different now? How did you feel when you lost the weight? Why can't you be that person again? And I want to talk about how I lost 89 pounds and what happened. Why did I gain 250 pounds since then? So I'm really bad at timelines, but one thing I do know distinctively is that my first diet ever was when I was 11 years old, and it was for Weight Watchers, and I successfully lost 3 pounds and quit. When I was at an all-girls group home, they would try little things where they gave me lower fat milk. I literally had my own bottle of
Hold on,
milk.
guys, I gotta really pause this. It's almost like it sounds like, you know, I watched the videos on how she ended up in a group home, foster care, so on and so forth, and it makes you wonder if, like, an alcoholic will, you know, cover his addiction with something else. Or, you know, a drug addict that is trying to refrain from drugs will cover when they're addicted with something else. It's almost like she ate her feelings, and, you know, being put into the foster care system and group homes, like she ate her feelings, and it gave her a bit of satisfaction. So from 11, when she's saying she dieted, up till now, it's like that's what caused that addiction. It wired her brain to say, this feels good, I feel safe, and as long as I'm eating, I'm okay. And it turned into this very, very sick train wreck.
Only like 10 or 11 years old, and they would limit my food intake while allowing the other girls to eat whatever they want. And I always wondered, like, is something wrong with me? You know, I always knew I was bigger. For a little girl who's 10 or 11 to go on a diet is kind of like, it messes with your brain. But when that started happening, I actually began to sneak food and steal food from the group home. That's kind of like a whole other story within itself. It's kind of like when my binging started, I guess you could say. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I have been off and on diets since I was about 10, 11 years old. So throughout all my teenagehood, you know, on and off diets,
and
whatever.
Still are on,
but it wasn't until October 24th, 2011, where I changed my life for the better, but also completely ruined my life. On October 14th, 2011, I actually moved to Virginia to be with my now ex, and she also had some weight struggles, nowhere near half as bad as mine, but she had her insecurities, and she thought that we could come together and lose weight together. So it was actually 10 days later, on October 24th, 2011, when we set out to be healthier, skinnier, better versions of ourselves. I knew nothing about nutrition back then. I didn't know anything about calories. I didn't know anything about serving sizes. It's like I went through all these diets as a teenager, but I never learned how much is too much, how much is too little. It's because my go-to was always, honestly, it was Weight Watchers. And with Weight Watchers, like,
don't you guys wonder if she makes like these type of videos in order to keep her viewers coming back, and so that way she gets all these views? I mean, obviously you can see this pause video. Now count the ads. Every yellow dot is an ad. Go watch anybody else's video. There's probably one in the beginning and one in the end, but this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the one in the beginning, 8. 8 ads in a 20-minute video. Because she's scared to death. She's like, everybody's saying, if she's not bedbound now, she's going to be shortly. And as soon as she's bedbound, I mean, you might as well say goodbye. Because if you watch my, you know, like 600-pound life, which I do, I watch it because I really honestly cheer and hope these people make it. And I love when they do let's check in on such and such and see how they're doing. I love them shows. And I love to see the ones that have lost the weight and kept it off and are continuing their journey. I just feel like if the reason why she won't go on it is, Dr. Now Zardin, he would put her on just like everybody else on that show at 800 calorie a day. And if they kept doing what she does, going off of it and binging, he'd put them in the hospital, and then they were kind of forced if they didn't order food out or enablers didn't come bring food to them. So that's probably why she doesn't like going to a doctor. She don't like being told, she's got to make a change. And I'm wondering if this little conversation is just for the camera, or if she honestly is thinking this. Because I hope she is.
It's great, but it doesn't teach you about anything about calories. So I didn't really know anything about calories. I didn't really know much about nutrition. I kind of just followed point plan, and that was it. So on that beautiful October 24th, my highest weight then was 420 pounds. What I decided I was going to do was I was going to wake up, and this is exactly what I ate every single day for the longest time. And I thought it was totally fine. So I woke up, I had one serving of Morningstar Buffalo Veggie Nuggets, which was 5 nuggets. And I would cut them up in super tiny pieces. Me and my ex both would. I mean, the pieces were so tiny, like you could give it to an infant child. And the reason why we did that was to make our food last longer. And we would sometimes allow ourselves to have a string cheese with that. So we weren't counting calories. We were just watching our portions. So then later in the day, her mom would actually cook for us. Her mom was relatively healthy, so that made it so much easier. But every time she would cook, it was always like a meat, a veggie, and a carb. So when it was a meat, it was usually normally always chicken, so it made it really easy. If it was like a pretty decent, like small size, like small medium, I would have one piece of chicken. If it was large, I would cut it in half. And then when it was the carb, it was always like rice or a potato type of thing. So I would actually weigh out whatever the serving said on the box. I would just have that as my serving. When it was veggies, I'd probably have a scoop or two. So that was my second meal. And that's all I would eat until later on in the night. We would allow ourselves one snack. Our snack were these like 100-calorie little things. Like it was like Luna cookies or whatever you call them, goldfish. We made sure to get all kinds of different sort of snacks that were only 100 calories. So for the buffalo chicken, that's only 200 calories. For maybe one string cheese, that was our 50 calories. So for my first meal was 250 calories. And then for my second meal, a piece of chicken, let's just round it to 180, a side of carbs, let's say that's about another 180, just always depending on what it was. And then some veggies, that's another 30, 50, depending. And then our 100-calorie snack, I was barely eating 800, 900 calories a day, but I didn't know that at the time. I just knew that I felt great. I knew that the weight was dropping off, and the weight was dropping off. Yeah, because that's the same diet Dr. Now uses. It was actually slow at first because I had to find my balance. I was still, there were still some days where I would eat more, and then like the weekend would come and I'd eat a little bit more on then. So it was like, once I got it down to where that's how I would eat every single day, the weight was dropping off rather quickly. And I was actually down 89 pounds in about 6-7 months. So it didn't take too long, in my opinion. That was like rather quickly because time was going by fast. Honestly, this was the happiest time of my life. Like, I don't think I've ever been as happy as I was in Virginia, just because I felt secure and I felt just where I was living was very homey and calm and happy, and everyone supported each other, and I feel like that really helped with my mental.
Amber, you could be happy again. Think about, I know you probably troll these videos and watch, so if you are watching, a message to you. Think about that time when you were so happy losing that 89 pounds, how good you looked, how good you felt. And keep that in your mind as motivation. Even if you cut your diet down like by 1,000 calories, I mean, and still eat, what, 3,600 calories? You know how quick you would lose weight? How quick the weight would drop off for a person of your size? You would be that thin yet again in probably less than a year.
So I started getting a lot of compliments from my ex's mom's friends who we'd like do little get-togethers, and like I remember one time one of her friends was like, "You are getting so skinny, you're making me want to lose weight." And it's crazy because it's like,
yep, and that's what we were looking for.
Like, inspire other people, and it just kept
inspire
adding
your audience.
But the more that I kept restricting myself and eating very low amounts of food, that is when on the weekends I would binge really bad. And you know, as I was younger, like I told you in the beginning of the video, I did start binging at a very young age, but it was nowhere near as bad as the binging that started to happen in Virginia. And it was always on the weekend. I would stuff myself. My ex and I, we would go out to eat a few times a day sometimes. So this is also the time, not only did my binging get worse, because I would restrict, and then I would binge, but I got gallstones from the rapid weight loss because I was just eating so little and losing so quickly. And then I would do this whole yo-yo thing where then on the weekend I would like stuff my face silly. And this got to a point where I was binging so much and so often where I no longer was losing weight. I was just maintaining because I was restricting on the weekdays, but then binging on the weekends. And it was like everything I lost in the weekdays, I would gain back from the binging. And also when I found out I had gallstones, I had to completely change my eating because there were certain things I couldn't have and I had to have more of this sort of item. So my way of eating was now out the door, and I had to incorporate more carbs from here and more fiber from there and more things that was actually making my weight loss so much slower. So I was becoming discouraged because I now had to eat different food. So by doing that, I now started to...
I gotta pause this. I myself have had gallstones to the point I am not saying anything but they are the most... When you get those, it's like somebody punched you in the stomach or put a 900-pound rock like right under your rib cage. And it just stayed there. And it wouldn't... And then sometimes it would go away in an hour. I had to suffer through that pain and went to the hospital to find out I had gallstones. And when I asked the doctor, how do you fix that? He goes, well, you don't. We fix it. You have to have your gallbladder out. So I had the laparoscopic. I understand why she can't have surgery at her size. Just the, putting her under anesthesia and her body health, her blood pressure is probably through the roof. Her, and the fear of putting too much strain on the heart. I can understand that, but they do put you on a diet. Or not technically a diet, but what they normally tell you to do is cut back on your fat. Has nothing to do with carbs, has nothing to do with meat. And adding fiber, yes. Adding fiber actually fills the stomach. And if she and she's saying she had a hard time losing weight by following doctor's orders, what? You got to eat lean meat. You got to eat less fat. You got to take some fiber that might fill your stomach up so you're not eating so much. So if anything, it would have helped you lose even more weight.
Gain weight. It was happening very slowly. nowhere near as fast as it's happening now. And it was just like this slow, gradual process. And I remember because my lowest was 331 from the 420. I remember when I got to 350 after I gained 19 pounds. And I just bawled my eyes out. I felt horrible. I was inspiring so many people, and so many people were proud of me, including myself, because I felt amazing.
We all
I was
were
able
too.
To wear jeans that couldn't even fit to my freaking knees the year prior. Like, losing those 89 pounds, I actually felt like somebody. I felt like someone worthy of love and compassion. And I felt beautiful for the first time in my life. But then I slowly started gaining the weight back because I started to eat differently, and then I was getting more discouraged, and it was causing me to binge even more. And it was almost as if the minute I found out that I had gallstones, my whole everything got flipped, turned upside down, and I never was the same again. I'm not blaming the gallstones or anything like that, but that was just a pivotal moment in my journey. So I think it was probably a year and a half after I found out I had gallstones. I was bouncing the weight gain of about 30 pounds. I decided to start YouTube, and I started YouTube weighing around 360 something. So that was after I had gained about 30 something pounds from my lowest. And I thought by making YouTube videos, I'd be able to hold myself accountable. I would be able to inspire other people, which would then motivate me to do even better, because I would always watch YouTube videos of weight loss journeys. That was like my most favorite thing to watch at the time, because that was what I dedicated my life to then, was losing weight. I cared very much about the food I put in my mouth. I cared very much about going to the gym and exercising. I cared so much about that, and it's just like, now look at me. But once I joined YouTube, I would balance back and forth. I would lose 10 pounds, gain 10 pounds, lose 10 pounds, gain 10 pounds. And it wasn't until
lose 10 pounds, gain 15.
But she was my girlfriend at the time. We started just like going through a lot. And I just noticed that there was a big change within us, and it was making me depressed. It was making me sad. And it made me stop caring so much about losing weight, and made me care more about trying to fix whatever was going on between me and her. So I slowly started to gain weight again. Once I hit 380, I felt absolutely disgusting. And then she broke up with me, and I didn't care about anything. I was so heartbroken that I just didn't care. I was like, I don't care. Feed me everything. So my binging got even worse, and I hit 400 pounds again. I honestly couldn't believe it, because now most of my closet didn't fit me anymore. And I remember there was a pivotal point where her mom told me, don't throw away your jeans because you might gain the weight back. And I was like, why would I gain the weight back? I feel amazing. And it's like, so moral of the story in that sort of, situation is not knowing enough about nutrition, restricting yourself too much, can cause an eating disorder. It 100% can. I was barely eating anything, and then I was binging like crazy. I did lose 89 pounds, and I felt incredible and great. And a lot of the times I say this all the time, where I'm just like, oh, well, I allowed myself to eat this when I lost 89 pounds. Well, I allowed myself to eat fried rice when I lost 89 pounds. Like, no, I didn't. I say that in the sense of, after I gained a big chunk of my weight back, I tried to fix the way I ate. I tried to be more, I'm allowed to eat this, like moderate.
Sorry, I had to pause it yet again. Later on in her video, she talks about how she had altogether kind of lost 1,000 pounds. That was, I think, when she was doing those daily fucking weigh-ins, which are totally fucking ridiculous, because she was going by, which I can understand. If you lost, let's say, 0.8 pounds or whatever. It's a loss regardless. And she'd be happy about it. But, like I said before, just to maintain this girl's weight, 4,600 calories. Wrap your head around that amount of calories. I can't imagine. I got to a point where your stomach does stretch like a balloon, and at the rate she's at, her stomach has got to be so stretched out that it is hard to feel satisfied. For that message to get to your brain to put the fork down, you're done. Because I've seen her clean plates off. I went days sometimes without eating maybe some broth or whatever. And you know what? After I would say 3 days of doing that, and I didn't purpose do that, I was like sick for a while, and that's all I could do. But when I went back to eating regular food, I noticed that I couldn't clean a plate off. I could hardly eat. Like, even today, you know what I had? Some noodles with some butter and Parmesan cheese. And that's all I ate for the day. And I'm 160 pounds. And I didn't even finish the whole bowl. So there's hope if she can get on any type of path. There's hope for this girl yet. And I would hate a girl being that fucking young to be bedbound and lose her battle to her body.
So the whole I'm the queen of moderation thing that I've
that
said
was
in the
bullshit.
past, I tried to beat that into my head because I was terrified, and still am terrified, to do such restrictive diets and then gain all my weight back like I did in Virginia. That's why I stopped Optavia so freaking fast, because I now am so terrified of doing something so strict and gaining my weight back. So after I've reached 400 pounds, I ended up moving to Florida to be with Destiny, and it was the first time on my own. I was like, heck to the yeah. I had money, I had a job, we had a car. I had freedom to eat what I want, when I want, how I want. Having that for the first time in my life, coming from a very hard childhood when being told what to eat, when to eat in foster care while having an eating disorder, and then restricting yourself so hardcore in Virginia the years prior, I was finally free of...
I'm sorry, guys, but I have to keep interjecting. I mean, that's what I'm here to do, is watch these videos and give y'all my reaction, and that's what I'm doing. She's talking about how she had the freedom, and, you know, that caused her to be able to get food whenever. You know, if she started YouTube knowing that it was a means to possibly losing weight and keeping accountable, and that's what her haters are doing. They're keeping her accountable. And it's kind of hard to say anything positive when you're watching somebody eat themselves to death. It's like watching an alcohol just drink themselves to death, and you go visit them. My brother is an alcoholic. I go visit him, and he is younger than me, and he looks at least 20 years older than me. He's got dark eyes, a bloated stomach, and half the time he's not coherent. And to see his skin even start turning yellow, knowing he's destroying his liver, which happens also with heavier people, it becomes kind of like pate in the body. And it will slowly, if not fast, start to shut down. And she'll get jaundice. I mean, there's so many different factors that this poor girl And it's all from food. She should have, when she had cravings or a binge, she should have just got on YouTube and said, hey, y'all, I need help. Comment, let's talk. I feel like I'm going to binge, because that's what this is all about. And that's why we kind of started following her, is to be that support, to be there for one another. You know what? When somebody's having a bad day, message me. I'll be there. I live in California, you live in New York. We're 3 hours apart. So even if it's 3 o'clock here, it's 12 o'clock there. I mean, there's so many things. She likes YouTube so much that that's all she needs to do. And I'm sorry, I just had to kill a goddamn spider. I feel like little Miss Tuffet little Miss Muffet sat in her tuffet. But I wasn't eating no curds and whey. Along came the spider, and he sat down beside me, but I didn't run away. I squished his ass. He gone. Bye-bye.
All of that. And I devoured everything. So while being in Florida, I went all the way up to around like 475, I think, or something like that. And it's just like, I just kept gaining weight. And here I am currently 560 something, and I keep gaining weight. And a lot of people tell me it's because I'm lazy.
Wait a minute, 560 something? One time, before this video was made, are you getting these videos out of sequence or something? Because, oh my God, I remember her getting on the scale, and the scale saying 500. I think the last time I heard her weigh herself, it was 577. And now she's saying 560. She is so fucking lying right now, because if you heard her scale say 5'7", and she's doing nothing but gaining weight, she hasn't been on here saying, guess what, I lost 10 pounds. I lost almost 20 pounds. Because that would be like, yay, you're finally doing some progress. But no, she's fucking lying, motherfucker. Oh my God, this pisses me off. 560. So in her fucking head, 560 is better than 570. No, state what you truly, truly are.
And I'm disgusting, I have no willpower. You know what? So be it. But I do know
we're helping you. We're trying.
My whole life. The restricting,
my God,
non-restricting, just everything.
See, a real psychiatrist, not fucking better health, whatever it's called.
Shape, way, or form that I don't. And it's like, I feel like I should have shared this sooner. And I know to a lot of people, like, this probably isn't like such a big revelation, but to get it off my chest and to talk about it a little more, hopefully maybe you guys might understand it a bit more. I don't know. It does make me feel better. Trigger warning right now. I just want to say this is something that I've only admitted to a couple people in my life, and I feel kind of like uncomfortable sharing it, but I feel like it's important to share. But when you're sitting there after a horrible binge and you're contemplating trying to make yourself purge, and you actually physically try to do it and you can't, you have a problem. There is a huge problem within yourself. And it's like, know how sometimes you have a problem, but you feel like you can fix it yourself? You can't always fix it yourself.
No, you can't.
I know I can't.
You need help.
That's why I'm going to a weight loss doctor, and that's why I'm going to see a psychiatrist, and that's why I'm going to do all these things.
If you do it, just do it.
It might have took me 28 years, but at least it didn't take me 29 years. At least it didn't take me 35 years. At least I didn't die before I tried. I feel like there was just so much I wanted to say in this video, and I'm afraid that I didn't say it all.
Please, girl, go get that help.
Just, if you want to go on a weight loss journey, please do your research. I should have done mine beforehand, because I restricted myself so much that Honestly, in the long run, I feel like if I wouldn't have lost the 89 pounds, I wouldn't be as big as I am now. 100% I would not be. Only I know my story and how I felt during it, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, I think I'm going to end it here because it's becoming a long one. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
All right. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, please put your comments below because I'd love to see what other people are thinking when they watch these videos. Good or bad, positive or negative, I want to know. And I don't, because I sometimes feel when I make these videos like I'm all alone in the way I think. Because I see people watch them, but they never comment or they never like or dislike the video. So I don't know. Like, if I'm going fucking crazy myself, if I'm, like, viewing things incorrectly. But my thoughts at the end of this video are, she pretty much stated everything we already knew by watching her journey, her weight gain journey, and we've already put 2 and 2 together. I think we're all pretty goddamn good at math by now. And we've all put 2 and 2 together. And we've already figured all that out. And for her to, she's been saying she wants to go to a weight loss doctor and a nutritionist and a psychiatrist. But then she admitted she only did the online thing. I mean, I hope maybe having this little revelation, which she should be having every single goddamn day of her life, looking in the mirror and saying, how did I get here? This is how. I need fucking help. And go get the help. I would, Amber, to tell you straight out right now, and I'm sorry I call you Amber, but it's shorter for me, and I've become involved in your journey, so I feel like I can call you Amber. If not, just tell me to shut the fuck up. But anyway, I feel for you, girl, and I know the struggles. Been there. I've been a heavy girl. I was 220, 230. But I looked at that scale when they told me I was 225. I was like, nah. I can't get any bigger, and I turn myself around. I feel like it's like you do the hokey pokey and well, you guys get the picture. But anyway, there's hope. And every day you fucking get up in the morning and you open them eyes, that's hope. That's God saying, you got another day, girl, to turn this around and get better. I'm giving you day after day of chances. So, Amber, if you're watching this video, become that skinny girl, that pretty girl, that girl you say, oh, I was so cute and I was this and I was... Be that girl. Be that happy girl. Show everybody in your world, your haters. Show your haters. Look what I can do. Well, guys, this is the end of the video. I think I've said way more than enough. If I interrupt way too often, comment below. If you preferred my other video where you could see my absolutely gorgeous face, and that's me trying to fake an accent anyway, but let me know. Bye until the next one.